What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bone Zone. I'm your host, Jay Lyons. I almost said the LOM podcast just there. I don't know. This week has been it's been kind of confusing for me. Just like I keep getting confused on like what day it is. Like yesterday, I thought yesterday was Friday, and I was like, oh, tomorrow's Saturday. I got some stuff I gotta do, but no, today's Friday. Well, today's Saturday for you guys, so I mean, technically tomorrow is Saturday for me, but it's just like yesterday, I was like, dude, tomorrow's Saturday. And then I was like going to bed, I was like, no, tomorrow's Friday. And that's kind of been like happening to me like all week, Like I thought Tuesday was Thursday. I don't even remember Wednesday being a day. I was like, this day just doesn't exist. I don't know. I don't know if it's like my sleep schedule or what, but I don't know. I've been kind of getting confused on like what day it is. Like I usually have classes on like Mondays and Wednesdays, and like, you know, Sunday night before Monday, I was thinking like, yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. Thank God I remembered that the next day was Monday, or else like I would have missed class, and that would have sucked. But yeah, it's just like, I don't know. This week's been kind of crazy, doing a lot of work preparing for the Halloween special of the Bone Zone. It comes out a week from today for you guys. Comes out next Saturday. And, I'm kind of pumped about it. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. I've got some new ideas cooking for the Halloween special. So, yeah, I've been working on that. So maybe like that's like what's been throwing me off, is that I've been doing like more work than usual. Just like in general. Like I always have a lot of work to do with like class and the podcast, but I'm just doing a little bit more. Like yesterday, I was working on the Bone Zone, the Halloween special. So that's probably why I thought the next day was Saturday, because I'm so used to working on the Bone Zone all day Friday that working on it all day Thursday, I was like, okay, yeah, today's Friday, tomorrow is Saturday. That's probably it, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it's just been kind of like throwing me off for like everything. And I have to keep like checking my phone to see like what day it is. So something I've been wanting to talk about past few episodes, but like I keep forgetting. I don't know if it's even like that popular anymore. People probably have forgotten about it already. But I want to talk about Squid Game. And no, I have not seen it because you know me. I don't get interested in something popular until after it's dead. So like now that it's like ramping down and like no one's interested, I'm kind of like, you know what? Maybe I'll start watching the show. I want to see what everyone's talking about, or what everyone was talking about. But if I'm being honest, like I'm not really that interested in it. I don't really understand the hype behind it. People are telling me what it's all about, and I'm like, okay, we have shit like that already, and it's actually in English. Because everyone's telling me, because it's a is it a Korean show? I don't know what it is. But it's not natively in English. So like, if you want to watch it and you want to understand what they're saying, if you don't know their language, you gotta have subtitles, or you gotta have English dub. Okay. Now, I can't stand subtitles. Like, I'll use subtitles when I can't understand something that somebody says, and like if I have to repeat it like 3 times and I still don't understand what they're saying, then I'll put on subtitles just to see what they're saying. But most of the time, like I don't have subtitles on, and like that's like a rare thing that happens. Because usually a final product, they make sure all the lines are clear and concise to make sure that the audience understands what they're saying. But there's some movies, especially with like actors with like thick British accents. Like some of the lines they say, I'm like, what? What'd you say? I know you're speaking English, but I don't understand you. So like that's like that's like the usual case, is like it's a thick British accent or just like a thick accent in general, and like I'm like, okay, no, I'm not understanding what you're saying. But that's like a rare issue. But I can't stand subtitles because like like human eyes are drawn towards movement, right? And so like when you're watching a movie, you're watching all the movements on the screen, but with the subtitles, since they keep like popping up and going away, your eyes keep like, getting drawn to it. And then I miss what happens on the screen. I'm like, okay, I have to go back. I mean, I know what they said, but I don't know what they did, And so like I just don't have subtitles on because it's just like distracting, you know? I don't mind the subtitles when like, in movies where like Star Wars, for example, when there's like aliens speaking in alien languages and they put on subtitles so you know what they're saying. Like I get that, but I can't watch like a whole movie or a whole show when they're speaking English with subtitles on because it's like I don't need them, It's just distracting. And so like, you would think the solution would be like English dub to watch the show. But like, I know a lot of people who watch anime, okay? Once again, I don't necessarily understand the hype behind anime with people in my generation, but hey, it's what people want to watch. They can watch whatever they want. But like I've seen a few anime shows and like I'm like, okay, that's cool, I guess, but it's not anything like spectacular. But there's a lot of anime shows that are like completely in Japanese, right? And so you got to have subtitles on, which I just explained that I hate those, okay? Or you got to have English dub. And the thing I hear a lot of the time from people who watch anime, they like make fun of people who watch with English dub because they're like, you're not a real fan or something, Or it's just because the English dub is so bad, right? And now I'm not too experienced with watching shows with English dub because, like I said, I don't really watch anime. The anime shows I have watched are all in English, Or maybe they were redone in English and it's not like an English dub. So, like, I guess it works. Like, it's not bad voice acting, right? But there's people who are like shows that are natively in Japanese with like the English dub. It's like really bad and, you shouldn't be watching that and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, whatever you say. I don't really care because I don't watch anime, but I'll take your word for it. If I ever do watch anime, I'll make sure not to watch natively Japanese shows with an English dub. I'll be sure to put on subtitles, even though it's going to piss me off the entire time I'm watching. So that's also a reason why I don't really watch anime is because like you can't watch English dub or else like the anime fanboys or fangirls or just like the crazy ass people are going to make fun of you or something. And you'll be like, dude, just let me watch my show. Like, honest, like, how are you going to make fun of somebody for watching a show with with an English dub? Like, that's like the weirdest thing to like make fun of someone. It's like, yeah, you're an idiot for wanting to understand what you're watching. Like, does it, what? Okay, I'm sorry, I don't know Japanese, I do want to learn Japanese, though. Just throwing it out there since we're talking about it. I wouldn't mind learning Japanese, but not to watch anime, just because I think that would be a cool language to learn. But anyways, so like, a lot of people are watching Squid Games with English dub because, maybe they're like me and they hate subtitles. But like, I've heard that the English dub is terrible for that show. And I've seen a few clips and like, yeah, it's really bad voice acting. I don't know, like, I swear the people who made the show or whatever, or whoever the people were who went in to put the dubs over the show, like, I swear they just like took random people off the street and they're just like, yeah, just come in here, just record a few lines and then you can go about your day. Here's $200. That's what it feels like because the voice acting is like it's so bad. It's so wooden, Like all the dudes are like, what? I'm poor. can't you help me? And then like, like shocking things are like, oh my God, this guy just died. That's crazy. Hope it doesn't happen to me. And then like also like, you can kind of tell somebody's general age based off their voice, right? And so like I've seen clips where it shows like this woman on screen who looks like she's like 60 or something. I'm not trying to be mean, okay? I kind of feel bad saying that, but just for the sake of what I'm saying, just she looks 60, and then like they have a voice actor that sounds like like a 20-year-old woman. So it's like this like old lady, and it's like, "Hi, how are you?" It's like that doesn't sound like your age at all. Like did the people doing the English dub, like, did they even look at the characters they're signing people up to voice act? Because like like I said, just like they went out on the street and there's like, yeah, you, come here. We need some English lines done. They're like, well, I have no voice acting experience. It's like, it doesn't matter. People hate English dub anyway, so they're probably not even going to watch it. Because also, yeah, they probably didn't know it was going to be this big of a phenomenon, which I don't know why it is. And like I said, people have explained it to me. They're like, oh, it's like these poor people who they need money, so they get invited onto like this game show where you play a bunch of like kids games or something like that, like red light, green light, and if you lose, you die. And it's like, okay, so it's the Hunger Games, basically. Yeah, the Hunger Games are not playing kids games, but like they're poor. I mean, I guess. Well, no, if you do win money. You do become rich. So like it's essentially the same premise. You're poor, and so you get invited into this game show for people's enjoyment. And if you lose, you die, and if you win, you get money. The only thing is, Hunger Games is set in a dystopian future, and then I guess the show is set in modern times, like it's supposed to be happening today or something. I think. I've never seen the show. I was just like, that's what I'm assuming that it's basically like. But it's just like, everyone's like freaking out about it, and it's like, dude, it's just the Hunger Games. But then again, I guess the Hunger Games blew up in popularity, but it's like, I don't know, what's people's obsession with like watching shows or movies where you play games to the death, I was talking to somebody, and he was asking me if I'd seen the show, and I was like, no. And he's like, what? Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. You don't know who's going to die next. And it's like, yeah, okay. But kind of the same thing happens with Hunger Games. I'll tell you who doesn't die next: the main characters. You never got to be nervous for the main characters, because guess what? They got plot armor. Okay, so it's like, all the people you don't really care about are the ones that are going to die next. Boom, I just told you who's going to die next. Now you don't have to be freaking out every time you finish an episode and you'd be like, oh, who's going to die next? It's like everyone except the main characters. By the end of the show, everyone's going to be dead except for the main characters. Like even side characters, they're going to die next. Okay? Because that's literally what happens in all these types of shows and movies. Like Hunger Games, Katniss and Peeta, they won 2 Hunger Games, and they finished a war, and like they had no fighting. Well, I guess Katniss had hunting skills, but what was Peeta's survival experience? Making bread. Yeah, that's gonna help. Hopefully, they put wheat in the games. Oh, make sure they have an oven for you to bake. Like, it's just like that dude survived 2 Hunger Games and a war. Like, come on. He was even captured by the enemy and survived. Like, come on. I mean, look at Finnick, okay? He won a Hunger Games, okay? And then he technically survived the second one, and bro, he died before Peeta. I guess bread making is the key to success. If you know how to make bread, you're gonna survive any situation. Plane crash? Thank God I know how to make bread. You don't even have to be scared. Like the plane's going down. Everyone's like, why aren't you freaking out? It's like, trust me. I make bread. I can survive any situation. Wars? Got nothing on me. I can make bread. Got captured by the enemy? Can't torture me. I can make bread. Like, it's just like, like, it's that kind of shit, It's like, but was anyone really nervous watching Catching Fire, going like, oh my God, is Katniss going to die? It's like, no. I was watching Catching Fire and I'm like, yeah, Katniss and Peeta, they're going to win. Doesn't matter what happens, Doesn't matter if they actually finish the game or if, like what actually happened, they break the game and the rebels come in and take Katniss and some other people for the rebel cause or whatever. It's like, either one of those situations, I knew Katniss and Peeta were going to survive. Now, did I bank on Peeta getting captured by the enemy? No, but I knew after he got caught, I'm like, yeah, he's going to survive though. They're going to find a way to break him out. Because just like that's how shows and movies go. Main characters got plot armor. Any situation. As long as they know how to make bread. That's plot armor right there. Bread making. But yeah, it's just like, everyone's talking about Squid Games and everyone's like, oh my God, you got to watch it. And like, I'm sure I'll watch it at some point, but it's just like, it's not like a show where I'm just like dying to watch just because everyone else says it's amazing, and who knows, maybe I'll watch it and it is amazing. I have no idea, but it's just like at the time being, since everyone is hyping it up so much, it just makes me want to not watch it. I'm just like, dude, I don't give a shit, I'm so much better than you guys. I have self-control. But yeah, like, like the red light, green light, everyone's talking about like this doll thing, like this giant doll. Like I've seen this doll in like a shit ton of memes, like in was she wearing like a yellow dress or something like that? It's like the red light, green light, right? Why is that one like the most popular one? And like I understand that's red light, green light, so kids games. I also saw a clip of like them doing tug of war, okay? Which, dude, oh my God, that would suck. Like I guess like every situation would suck, but like, red light, green light, it's not like you're just fighting for your own life, and like, yeah, you're doing that for tug of war, but in red light, green light, you're just up against this doll that might catch you, right? But like in tug of war, like you're fighting against other people who also don't want to die. So like tug of war is like difficult on its own, to try to win, depending on who you're going up against. But like tack in the fact that you're also going up against people who are like, dude, if I lose, I'm gonna die. That would suck. I don't know what other games they have, but I also see like this one picture or clip where it's just like a bunch of like stairways and like walkways, like pink and green stairways, and just like people walking in a single file line. What game is that? I don't recall ever playing that game as a kid. I don't remember being a kid and being like, hey, let's go to the green and pink stairs and let's walk in a line. Person who jumps out of the line loses. Like what game is that? I don't know. Because like, everyone's saying it's like, oh, kids games. Do they play Duck Duck Go? Or not Duck Duck Goose? What the fuck? Duck Duck Go. Yeah, the search engine. Let's play the search engine game. Yeah, Duck Duck Goose. Dude, that'd be like so morbid playing that game, and you're just like, please do not pick me for Goose. And dude, it sucks if you're like the person picking. But also like, how do you lose that? Because like I know you lose. You technically lose if you don't sit down, right? Or like Right. Okay. So like the goose is chasing after the person doing like the duck duck or whatever, right? The duck duck person has to run around the circle and like sit in the chair or sit in the on the ground or whatever in the spot of the goose person before the goose person tags them, I guess. Right? I don't really remember how duck duck goose works. So I guess, but like, someone has to sit in this someone has to sit on the floor, right? So like if the duck duck person makes it to the floor before the goose person, does the goose person get killed because he lost? But if that happens, who's the new duck duck person? So I don't know. How do you lose duck duck goose? That's just a game that goes on forever. But to play musical chairs, that would also suck. You gotta like, dude, I gotta sit down in a chair. All these situations would suck. Knowing like if you lose, you die. Damn. Also, like how do you die? I don't know how they die. What are you like fitted with like poison in your arm or something like that releases if you lose? Also, like, I don't know, like who would actually make a game like this? Because it's supposed to be set in today's times, right? So like, who had the bright idea to be like, yeah, let's do this, and who approved it, or is it like not sanctioned? And also, but if it's not sanctioned, how do they get all this money to make this like doll that can sense if you're moving or not? Where'd they get the funding to make this doll, right? So like, obviously it's sanctioned by somebody, and how is it going on without everyone knowing about it? Because it's a game. Is it a game show? Like, is it a televised show? Like within the realm of where the show takes place, are these games being televised? Also, why don't you just quit? Once you realize that if you lose, you die, you could be like, you know what? I don't need that money. I thought I needed it, but you know what? I don't need it. Because knowing me, like, dude, I'm not gonna win that unless I know how to make bread. Then I'm gonna win. But it's just like, so also somebody came up to me and like was asking me about the show, and they're like, "Have you seen it?" And I'm like, "No." And they're like, "Dude, I think it's crazy. Like, I haven't watched it yet either," and like all this stuff, and like they're talking about the show, and I'm starting to get the impression that they think that this show is like reality, like the show's actually happening in real life. And I looked at them and I'm like, you do know the show is fiction, right? And they're like, wait, it is? And I'm like, yeah. What? You really think there's a show made by some country being televised to the world, basically, where like they're legitimately killing people if they lose red light, green light? And like, no one's like, this is an issue. You really think if this was like an actual show, okay, it being taken over across the United States, like everyone's watching it. First of all, why would everyone watch it? Like if I knew that this was like a Hunger Games situation where like these people were legitimately dying in real life, I wouldn't watch that show. I'd be like, I don't need to see that. Because like, it's reality. These people are like actually dying. But also, like, it's being taken over in the United States. You really think that the United States is like, maybe we should tell this country, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? This is wrong, right? Because it's just like, it's not like we haven't done that type of shit before. Looked at countries doing something terrible and said, look, you can't do that. That's fucked up. You're manipulating your population into being like, hey, we'll give you money if you come onto this game show, but if you lose, you die. Like, dude, you really don't think like the UN isn't going to step in and be like, I mean, that's all they really can do is just say stop, but but like, you really don't think any government would say anything about it, because you can't tell me the United States government doesn't realize that this is a popular show that people are watching. You can't tell me that. It's like I said, it's like show that's being taken over by, taking over the world, basically. Like, everyone's watching it. And it's on Netflix. You really think Netflix would be showing that show? If it was a reality TV show? Come on. Like, I don't mean to be mean to this person, but come on, man. Really? Use your head. Just like logically, do you really think that this would be a real televised show? I mean, you could tell me, like, someone who was telling you about the show or something like that made you think that this could be real. But I mean, really? Even if someone tried to convince you that this was a real show, really? You're going to believe them? Like, if someone tried to convince me that this show was a reality TV show, I'd be like, yeah, you're lying. I would need, like, an official report from, like, a credible news source or, like, some government or something that said, yeah, this is actually happening. Or else I'm like, you're just pulling my leg, But yeah, it's just like, some people, it's like, dude, you're so gullible. But yeah, maybe I'll watch it. I'm kind of intrigued by the show, because, like, the Hunger Games was kind of intriguing, and like I said, it's basically the Hunger Games. So I mean, maybe I'll watch it, but just like, I'm not gonna watch it right now because it's still semi-popular. So I need to wait for, like, no one to care about it. I need to wait for the time where I go up to someone and say, hey, I just started watching Squid Games, and like, wow, dude, you're so late. Until that moment, I'm not gonna watch it. So that's all I gotta say about the Squid Games. That's gonna wrap it up for this Bone Zone episode. So make sure to like and subscribe and click the little bell icon to get notified for future Bone Zone episodes and regular Lion on Main episodes. Also, you'll get notified for when the Halloween special comes out. Like I said, comes out next Saturday. Be prepared. Got some good stuff coming. Anyways, follow me on social media at RealJLions and Lion on Main on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And share this podcast with everyone. Tell everyone about the amazing Bone Zone episodes as well. Go like, hey, not only does he have regular episodes, this guy's got bonus episodes. Huh? What do you think about that? Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Love you. I don't know. Do I?